Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to a green day. Welcome to recovery. Welcome to recovery. Um, Check your bad habits at the door. I don't know. We got a green day on the market. This is fantastic. I was talking yesterday a lot about, of course, yesterday was a big buy the dip day. And I did say that we might get a little bit of red in the morning, but I suspected we would be green by the afternoon. I was wrong. We were green right away. Right out of the gate, things turned around. Of course, one of the big catalysts to sort of help speed today's recovery is Trump in an interview stated that military action against Greenland is not on the table. So that's a good news. That certainly calmed nerves big time. So it looks like we're not going to have a quick little war here. Late before the show just started as well, he released that apparently there's even a framework. He's got a framework all set up in regards to Greenland. So, and this ties into the whole Golden Dome thing and all of that. So the story's still ongoing, but on the bright side, it is at least a story that right now investors are feeling a little bit better, and we got a better deal on the market right now, pulling it up, and that is not the market. But give me a second, guys. I'll just pull that market up really fast here. Bang, boom, done. There we go. There's the market. So yeah, as you can see, here is, and you know what? I wanna make this a little bigger. Give me a second, guys. Let's just do this. It puts the blue line out of the way, but I want for you guys just to be able to see what we got going here. So this was yesterday. This nice red slant of doom here. This was the dip, and today, look at the gap. I mentioned that we started right out of the gate in the green. Well, yeah, we actually gapped up. We gapped up this today. So you can sort of see Tuesday, Wednesday. We did have another little retracement, but that's fine. And we're moving back up. So the goal here is, I have a feeling by tomorrow we might even be complete. We might complete the V. We might complete the V. Oh boy. That would be really, really interesting. So I like that. I like that idea. Hopefully you guys did some buying yesterday. That's what I'm saying. I did quite a bit of buying yesterday. So now I didn't have to sell any more of the cash, of the T cash today, because I sold about half of it, almost half yesterday in total. And I thought I might have to sell more today if it continued to go back, continued going down, because I was going to definitely get in on some stuff. But yeah, it's looking much better. And currently today, right now, we are up 0.36%. And of course, there's that blue line way down here. This blue line is where we entered the month. So basically, it's the divider between a red month and a green month. We're well on the green side. Things are looking pretty darn good. Looking south of the border, let's take a look at the United States. Yesterday, this dropped them below the blue line. So they were in red territory, but they are currently slightly above the green line right here. They wicked up above it. They went back down, but look at this. So hopefully they finish on top of the blue line. That's where I'd like to see. They are currently on the day up 1.27%. Technology also on a nice little rebound. We got some good green in here. They are still in a red month, though. They're still in a red month, so tech's got a little bit of extra work to do for sure. The Dow Jones, they're well above the line. They're looking pretty healthy. These are your industrial stocks. They are up 1.26 today. And the little guys, the Russell, these are our small cap. Like, I got to scroll and scroll and scroll. And there's the blue line. They're well above the blue line, having a strong day, up 1.73%. Now, gold is up a little bit today, which is unusual because with uncertainty, gold tends to go up. And I thought that with the markets doing a little better, we might see a little bit of a retracement. But we are seeing a retracement in silver. And guys, if you guys were here yesterday, we were talking about this VZLA. So the other day, when it was right in here, when it was coming up to here, we charted this on the show. I did it for one of you guys, and you know, I was talking, and she was like, I'm thinking of buying, and I'm like, I wouldn't. I said I wouldn't because look at this. It's going to hit this and it's going to come back down. That's what I said. Look at what it's done. It's hit this and it's come back down. So now, if you were making this play, we're in the zone where I would probably be looking to buy because I'm looking to see this hit and come back up. That's what I'm looking for here. So this is kind of cool. Anyway, just wanted to point that one out because I still have it on the charts. All right. We were at gold, right? And then silver, copper. Copper is down a wee bit today. Copper actually did well yesterday, and today it's been retracing. So WTI looking pretty strong, up 2.23%. And Bitcoin having a little bit of recovery today, up 1.73%. Ethereum up 2.85%. Let's, kind of curious, what is that doing to MSTE? MSTE still sitting below 5, at 473. All right, heading to the heat maps. And much nicer today. Look at this. We do have some red in the middle, but we got a lot more green all the way through here. I'm liking it. Banks having a pretty solid day. Look at this. CIBC here up 1.34%. BMO's up about 1%. BNS about 0.5%. Looking pretty good. The banks are looking good. Energy is looking pretty good. You got Canadian Natural Resources. They're up a good amount, 4.27%. Cenovus is up. Suncor is up. Imperial Oil. I believe there was some news today that Cenovus might be offloading some of their assets in Alberta, but you know, we'll have to see where that goes. But nonetheless, pretty good day on the market. CNR and CP both up about 2%. So we got some recovery. I'm liking it. Heading over to the United States. Boy, gosh, let's get rid of this sidebar. Really good day on tech. Look at this. NVIDIA up 3.35. Apple's up about 0.75. Google's up 2%. Meta's up almost 2%, 1.83. Tesla up 3.43%. So not too shabby, guys. Not too shabby. And of course, crypto, nice green day in crypto. We got some recovery across the board with Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP up about 2.93. Dogecoin is up. Solana's up. I'm liking it. Now, we do have a little tradition here. We like to grab, there's about 10,000 of these altcoins, actually about 15,000 probably. That's probably a really tiny number. It probably is much, much higher. All right, so let's jump on in here. I like to grab one. Bitcoin's having a positive day. I like to grab one who's not having a positive day. Let's go in. Let's grab this one here. What do we got? All right, let's take a look here. What the banana bread? Plug-in decentralized oracle. Okay. If you need to know the future, you just plug in this coin here and it will give you a decentralized forecast. Maybe, I don't know. It's worth about 0.43 of a penny. There's a whole bunch of them. They have funny names. They got strange. That's honestly the reason I do this is, well, one, to educate you about some of these coins, as in stay away from them because crap coins. It's like going to the casino, playing the craps game, throwing those dice. House always wins. It's a little bit about educating guys, you guys a little bit about that. And I also like kind of seeing some of the funny names that we get. I think the best one so far has been Loser Coin. So, but nonetheless, plug in decentralized oracle. If you're interested in it, read the white paper. I would probably follow the developers on social media, see what's going on. Make sure it really is something you've got a lot of faith in. But honestly, I'm not going to buy it. I wouldn't touch it personally. There is money to be made in crypto. It's not through an oracle though. It's your tried and true coin, the big ones. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, Cardano, and gosh darn it, even the Dogecoin is a better option. All right, we'll head back over here. I'm going to just get us onto the TSX and then go big screen here for a moment. Let's get into the chat. Holy banana bread. You guys are everywhere. All right. Brian was first in the house today with a good afternoon, everyone. And Jonathan says, am I late for the Greenland Lotto? No. Put your tickets in. Just, put a wad of cash in a self-addressed envelope and send it to, I don't know, send it to Donald Trump. Or no, I guess it wouldn't be a self-addressed envelope. You put a self-addressed envelope in. Anyway, that joke went off the rails before it even started. Marina is in the house. Hey, everyone. We almost made it through the strangest week for markets ever. Hang in there. Yes, we're bumping over the bump right now. But yeah, it's been an odd week. And we're going to get more of these. Now, there is a theory out there. It's a conspiracy theory. And it's one that I kind of think there might be some truth in it. There might be truth in it. That Donald Trump likes to create some chaos to push the market down so that, those people who know are able to jump in and buy some stuff, and then he undoes the damage. I don't know if it's true or not, but gosh, that's kind of what just happened. It's like, yeah, making the world think he's about to attack Greenland so the market goes crazy. And then once the market's down, it's like, oh, no, there's no military on the table at all. And, that's a good way to make a lot of money. A good way to make a lot of money. So I don't know if it's true, guys. I don't subscribe to conspiracy theories, but if there's ever one that is true, oh gosh, that might be it. So let me know. Do you guys think he's doing that? Do you guys think this? I don't know. I'm saying that it is an interesting thought. Stan is in the house with a hello all. Paul says good afternoon. Mark says Greenland Green Day. Yep. Or we could have Green Day tour Greenland. Then they would probably ban Green Day. I'm sorry, Green Day fans. Perlovia says, hello, fellow investors. Strange week it has been, but good success swinging the energy stocks. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So today, in my trading account, there wasn't anything I could do. Everything's on its way up, so I just let things roll. So didn't make any new trades, just watching the current trades that I got going. Samantha says, snowy greetings from Ontario, everyone. Yes, it's just started to get a light snow here, just beginning in Ottawa. We're supposed to get 5 to 10 tonight. I think another 1 to 3 overnight. So we'll see. Yeah, it's going to be snowy. Paul says Trump taco. There we go. So taco, Trump always chickens out. Maybe. Or let's go back to my conspiracy theory. Maybe it's that too. Who knows? Abby is in the house with a hello all. I pressed the like button. Absolutely. A question for you, Abby. I just got followed on Blossom by an Abby. I followed her back. I'm thinking it's you. So welcome to Blossom, if that's the case. And guys, let me just drop this in here. Blossom. Here we go. There we go. I just dropped my link there for Blossom. So if you're not yet on the Blossom, just take a gander over there. Seriously, it's a good place. It's basically a social media app for investing. It's run by Canadian investors. I like it. I like it over there. I mean, it's nice to have social media that is mostly finance related. Of course, if you do head over to Blossom, do me a favor and basically follow me. Follow me once you get there. I'll follow you right back. I'm just looking to see. I don't think it's popping up my my link. What the heck is going on there? Oh, I misspelled blossom. There we go. There we go. Double check your spelling, Candace. Double check your spelling. But yeah, follow me over there. I'll follow you. And one of the reasons that I do, and I'll show you guys. I'll just boom, head over to Blossom here for a moment. I got it up here somewhere. It's one of these. Ha. I thought I had Blossom. I had Blossom up. Did I accidentally close Blossom? I might have. Or no, wait, what is this? What is this poll? Oh no, I am. I'm still here. Mark. So the other day, Mark asked everybody to come over and do his poll. I'm kind of curious. Actually, guys, let's just very quickly see if we can refresh Mark's poll. So he did this thing about how much of each company do you really own? And let's see here. So it looks like somewhat I know the basics, but not the full picture. And this is how much of each company can you actually own across all your ETFs and sub-ETFs? Or do you know how much? Anyway, yeah, and we've taken a look here. 25 votes. Is that it? Oh gosh, I hoped more of you had come over and given Mark a few votes for sure. But coming back to Blossom, I'm just going to head right here to the main page. On your main page, this is the feed. I don't look at the feed. I don't look at the feed at all. I always go here because these here are the notifications and all the people I follow. That's why I follow you back, right? Because I want to see what you guys are posting. So I will. I'll scroll down here and I'll take a look. And I actually was looking a little bit earlier, and yeah, so it's kind of cool. Here's Abby. Remember I said Abby? Haha, there it is. Abby followed you. So I always look through here, and then that way there you guys are there, and there's a better chance of me seeing what you're posting. That's the reason I like to do it that way. Because I'd rather reply to you guys or throw my 2 cents in on something you guys posted opposed to somebody who I don't know. So always a good thing. All right, let's get on back here. Elaine is in the house with a hey all. And Larry says, you hear Trump's speech about the green new scam? I haven't actually heard it. I saw the headlines and I kind of leafed. I leafed through the beginnings of the article, but I didn't really have time to get too deep into it. I think it quite literally, I was in the process of getting ready for the stream when it broke, and I'm like, no. But yes, let's see what this is about. All I know is that he's got a bit of a framework talking to the head of NATO, and that it has something to do with his Golden Dome. So I don't know what it's going to look like, but I can't wait to see I can't wait to see more details. All right, Scott is in the house. Greetings to one and all. And Samantha says, let's race who can hit the like button first. Now, with Samantha here, guys, we've been talking about the GOAT squad, of course. And, well, guys, we have, of course, a couple of goats. Now, I did post the second one on Discord, so I tried to make a less cute version of the first goat. So let's let me find it. Let me find it here. I'm just going to pull it on up here. Here we are. Okay, open up, please. All right, so this is the gruff. I call it gruff version. All right, I'm going to bring it over. Okay, so this is the gruff version, and wait a minute, I gotta get the cute version up. All right, we got the cute version, and can I, let me make this a little smaller. We'll make this one a little smaller. There we go. There are our two versions. So we got this goat squad, and we got this goat squad. It's pretty much the same goat, but kind of like mean older goat versus cute baby goat. So we do have both. We have two different versions now. So I'm thinking I just do both. So if you want the cute one, you can have the cute one. If you like the not so cute one, you can have the not so cute one. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Anyway, throw in your comments. Let me know. Bismarcky says, good afternoon from a snowy Greater Toronto area. Yeah, and it's coming. It's coming this way. And we got Mary in the house. Hello all, like and support Candace. So yeah, Mary is our official captain of the like button. So if you have not yet hit that like button and I'm going to check. I'm going to check right now. This was a great experiment. I'm going to take a look at how many likes we have right now, and then we'll see how many we got in a couple of minutes here. So right now we're sitting at 38. So guys, right now 38. Let's get to 50. We'll get to 50 right away. So let's hit that like button. I'm going to have some coffee here while you guys are busy turning that thumb a little bit on the blue side. Oh, very good. All right, Claude says, hello. I indeed couldn't buy a lot today. And we've got Lisa in the house with a hi, everyone. And Zenio says, roller coaster of a day, pump followed by a big dump, followed by a pump for a change. I know. We did have a little bit of interesting movement on the market for sure. Brian says, I don't trust that Trump has taken the military off the table. Luckily, people will be watching for troop movement and naval movement. Yeah, I mean, there's always that possibility, right? That it, I don't know. If I was, I guess, a military leader, I would like for them not to know the military is coming because that would be a little bit of surprise. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. All right, let me just take a quick. I'm going to take a quick gander over here, and we'll see if we got 50. Oh, guys, so close. We went from 38 to 47 because 3 of you just were like, I'll click the like button next time. We didn't get to 50. All right. Well, 47 still. You know what? It's proof that Mary works. It's proof that Mary works. Scott says, I had a limit buy carried over from yesterday to get HHIS at 193. So today for me, it was yay. Nice. You gotta like it. You gotta like it if your order works. Paul had leftover cash after the weekly blocks ETF drip at open, bought 4 shares of MSTE at 469. Okay. Adore Pat. Oh, May. What a ride. Good afternoon, everyone. So tired of Trump. Wish you would just. I heard it. Sue said, I listened to you, Candace. Still waiting to buy. All right. All right. Yes. And that, of course, is that silver stock that we looked at a little bit earlier here. Here, let me move. Let me move the goats. I'm sure by now you've had a chance to look at the goats. All right, let's get the goats out of there. And that, once again, is this Vizsla right here. So this one here. Oh, look. We got movement to the upside. Is it bouncing? And sometimes it will bounce. Like, that's why I always say, like, I never play right at the channels. I like to do... I like to have a little bit of a standard deviation type thing. So I will normally, I'll normally have like some secondary bars. So here, let me grab one. So I might have secondary bars on both sides. So even though, whoa, oh, oh, I accidentally put a title on. Oh my God, guys, that is Indonesian, by the way. If you guys can read that. Now, there's a reason I have that on my, anyway, all right. Oh, boy. All right, let me just, I'll explain, oh, I've got Indonesian on both sides. Oh, boy, what can I say? All right, so, YouTube. YouTube will translate my streams, well, more of my videos. I think the streams, it might only translate it to French and English. But my videos get translated into a whole bunch of English, a whole bunch of different languages, sorry. And I think somebody was talking to me from India, Indonesia, and they talked to me in Indonesian, and so I had to get it translated, and then I had to give a reply and translate it back and put it in. So anyway. It was for a comment. It was for a comment. But ignore the Indonesian on the top of these bars. So this is kind of the way I play it, is that I have a little bit of a buffer. So normally for me, I'm selling around that top one and buying around there. So I'm not playing the full channel because it doesn't always hit. It doesn't always make it. So if you're playing, if you create your own little buy and sell zone, I like to say, 5% or so, depending on the size of the channel. If it's a really big channel, I usually will make it a bit bigger. So anyway, all right. Anyway, I'm going to get rid of these Indonesian lines here, and we'll move to the next one. All right. Chad. Oh, Chad. Chad's tired of Mark Carney. Uh-oh. Chris says MU stated in December that they were exiting the consumer market because the server market was so hot. I bought MU thinking that they can give up whole markets because of how hot others are. They must and be making money. So far, I was right. Yeah, MU's been doing fantastic. Do I still have MU in here? I had them. I had them listed here. Yeah, they're right over here. Like, look at this. Today, MU um, up 6.64%. And this is, yeah, this is really good. And when you look at them, I'm going to collapse it a little bit. You can kind of see they kind of really didn't get hit that bad by yesterday. And guys, I just got the 1 minute warning for the bell. So we've got a bell. We got a bell coming here in 1 minute. So if you don't like the loud noises, that'll be your opportunity to, to maybe just turn the volume down for a tiny bit. Or, heck, even mute it if you if noises really bug you. I know, and I keep mentioning it because I'm a cat person, but somebody's cats doesn't like my bell. So, Doorpat says, Candace, why is everyone dumping Shopify? Software in general, I wouldn't classify CSU and Shop as part of the CAAS threatened by AI. Anyway, I am new buying Shop heavy. Okay. I was putting this part in here too. So I think Shopify is going to be fine. And I think Shopify will, they'll probably integrate AI even more into what they're doing. If anything, it just might be people who are a little bit worried. Guys, it's time. All right. Market's closed. I like it. You see, I was even in the middle of a tangent and I still got the bell because the double alarm system. I am loving it. Oh, that's so good. All right. Yeah, I think people might be overreacting on Shopify. I think Shopify will be fine. I'll still watch them, obviously, because, you might. And here's the thing, though. Even though I say they could be fine, there's, you could always sort of say, to AI, can you make me a shop front? Can I do it on my own server? Well, you probably can, but it's going to be a lot more work to do it that way as well, because you have to deal with hooking up credit card terminals and everything else. So I still think I think Shopify's market is safe. So I'm fine with Shopify for now. All right. And Chris said, me too. Oh, Hipple, what a week so far. Newell says, throw out ASTS and got some MDA. Ah, yes, MDA space. We were talking a little bit about that yesterday. And Chad is buying silver heavy and copper. Not too shabby. No swing trades today. No, just letting the ones that are in there, I'm letting them grow. Letting them grow for now, but well, tomorrow's another day. Let's see here. Chris says Google announces they were making AI chips to compete directly with NVIDIA. Need to watch. Yeah, well, Google also has the Willow chip. So that's kind of an interesting, and that's we're going into quantum computing. Definitely Google is one to watch when it comes to chips and where they're going. But I'm not worried. Honestly, I'm really not worried about NVIDIA. And I know everybody's always looking for who's going to be the NVIDIA killer. Nobody is. Nobody is. NVIDIA, they're going to be fine. Other people will find other ways, and then all that'll end up happening is you'll get partnerships. Honestly, if Google starts doing something better than NVIDIA, they'll create some kind of a partnership. You watch and you'll see it. We've already seen it somewhat. Perlovia said I was swinging BDT.T, good old bird. I love bird construction. Look at Mal, all-time high. Let's see. Marina says, I missed the deep sell-off. I didn't have any cash handy. Good for you if you had a chance to take advantage of it. I'll try to be better prepared next time. Yeah, and that's the thing, because the problem is you never know when the next time is. Now, I was just happy in the challenge that I had like 10% of the overall funds in the challenge were tied up in a cash ETF. So there was money there to be moved. That's always a good one. Chad says fart coin is a stinker. Oh, it sure is. Absolutely. Chris says HHIS took another beating today. Hi, Kitty. Oh boy. I'll go large screen here just in case she decides to come back up again. Um, we've got winter in the house today. Not out, well, we got winter outside too. And hi there, hi Kitty. So she is looking for, well, here, I'll grab it. Um, she's looking for the treats. That's what she's looking for. So bear with me as I just drop her a treat or two, and that way there she. If I don't, she'll actually keep crawling up, and sometimes she'll actually come all the way up, and she'll start hitting my nose with her paw. It's cute. It's cute. Sometimes I will not give her the treats right away just because what she does in trying to get my attention is just very, very adorable. All right. um, oh, Chris, I want to go back to Chris. I know you're the same, Chris, but so HHIS took another beating today. Let's actually take a look at HHIS. Oops, we'll go to bang. HHIS. All right. There we go. And, well, believe it or not, HHIS is actually up on the day. So up 0.7, but you can see, yeah, they had a little bit, like there was a little bit, when you look at the market today, we had green in this out of the start, and then there was a big fall down, and then it went back. Kind of like a lot of that uncertainty kind of playing out in real time. But yeah, so I mean, today, I mean, with HHIS, there was a buying opportunity in there. So if any of you guys got in, I think I did buy I did buy some HHIS, but not today. I bought it yesterday. I would have got a slightly better deal, I think, this morning if I had known that was going to happen. There we go. And then Chris says, yes, playing the market by watching Trump's deranged comments. Yeah, yeah, it is one way to make money, that's for sure. Oh, well, Hippo, I just watched Trump's speech at lunch. He pulled a taco on the Greenland attack, but he is still trying to buy it. Yeah, yeah, and that's fine. I mean, try to buy it or, come up with some kind of a deal. Like, come up with some kind of a deal. And it sounds like, because it sounds like there's some kind of a framework. And here, let me show you guys. I was looking at this just before. Let's go here. Actually, it was on BNN. Yeah, so yeah, here's some of the other things. So all the tariffs have been called off. So no more tariffs on those European countries. So that's all gone. That's all gone. And they said, and this is what he says. Trump says he and NATO Secretary Mark Rutte have formed the framework of a future deal with respect to Greenland and, in fact, the entire Arctic region. So, and that all ties into all of that fun stuff. Anyway, we're not going to go into it. I just wanted to, I totally forgot, though, about the tariffs. That's great news as well. Very good news, actually, because him and his tariffs, what can I say? All right, now we can come back to the big screen. Let's see. Chad says, Google great as they own the most of SpaceX loading up on their CDRs. Nice. He kept calling it ice. That doesn't surprise me. That does not surprise me at all. All right. Elaine says, Trump did say to buy back in April. And Sue says, I believe you're 100% correct, Candace, about Trump. I know. Perlovia says, I agree with you on Trump stock messing. Yeah, that is you. All right. I thought it was you. I saw it and I was like, that has to be Abby. I mean, well, of course it's Abby, but that has to be, I don't want to call you my Abby, but the Abby in the chat. Let's see. Chad says, won't be on long. 2 days snow here. My end Saskatchewan. Gotta go for a rip on the sled. Oh, that sounds fun. That does sound fun. Abby said I followed you. Yeah, and I followed you right back. Oh, yeah, there you go. Well, there's thanks for the follow. So, Chad, 33 likes, 73 watching. Smash the like button. Are we at the 50 yet? We should be. We should be. I'm thinking by now we should be at, hopefully we're at 60. That's where I'd like to see. 56. All right. Well, we're getting there. We're getting there. Bismarcky, does Trump know it's supposed to be Taco Tuesday, not Taco Wednesday? I think for Trump, it might be taco any day of the week. Zenial says markets are tanking again. Claude says love the evil. It's not an evil goat. It's just a more, it's a more. Okay, yeah, it's got teeth. Well, you guys were going on about Sith goats, and I figured that it had to have a bit of bite. Otherwise, you guys just weren't gonna like it. Uh, yeah, goat with canine teeth. Juiced up goat wins my vote. And Paul likes the cute goat. All right. Let's see. Samantha says, "Oh no, how do I decide? Both goats are great in their own way." Absolutely. Well, I'll get them on the site here by the weekend. As in the merch site, I'll get them up there. Let's see. Every day it breaks all-time highs. All right. They're talking about Mal. Marina says, I'll take the old mean goat. No contest. Sure, the young goat's adorable, but this grumpy goat looks like it could stare down a wolf and win. There we go. Good one, Marina. Niece is in the house. Hey, sorry, late again. No worries. Welcome, niece. And Niece is our favorite person from Sweden. I don't know a lot of people from Sweden, so it's not a high bar, Niece, but you've definitely gone above it. Chad says, yeah, sold. MDA went with Mal. Let's see. I tend to always lose when I choose, so I'll stick with the waiting. All right. Set your alerts, buy on the dips. There we go. ATC. All right. Candace, you're doing good on IVN swing. Well, that one's finished. I actually finished my IVN swing. So, I'm looking for a new entry point. I haven't quite seen it yet, but yeah, I could have stayed. I could have stayed in longer, but right now I'm doing. Right now I got a couple of good swings that are on their way up. So, and you know it because you can sort of see everything that I do. Chad says, anyone hold OCO? Let's see. As soon as the stock splits, it becomes dead for a quarter. Let's see. Scott, and NVIDIA has 2 years tops as the king of the AI chip maker, in my humble opinion. It depends. If they keep innovating, that could be, I won't count. I would never bet against NVIDIA. All right. Let's see here. Nice, Scott. Wow. I was a baller at 2,500 shares. And let's see here. Trump told the Supreme Court to hold off on the tariff decision until after Greenland settled. Now they can rule them illegal. Okay, yeah. Now I guess they can, since that's been taken care of. Dear Abby. Yes, those are the old. For those of you, most of you probably know about Dear Abby. Like, it was like an advice columnist back in the day. Rob, oh God, Asian AI guy was saying there was potential for silver reserves up in Greenland. The problem is that it is very remote. The cost to get up there to mine the silver would be a huge loss. There might be. I take everything Asian AI guy says with a grain of salt from the stuff you guys have brought to me. But maybe, but I don't know. I can't confirm it. So still take it with a grain of salt. Newell, I guess gold and silver still has more to go with all that's going on. Gold and silver, everything, gold, silver, and copper, I think they're going to be strong. They're going to be strong for the next, oh gosh, probably the next decade. I wouldn't be surprised. So, Chad says, yes, gold 10K end of year, silver 150, few months CAD money, of course. Well, we'll see where it gets to. Shopify stock is not doing well, says Danielle. We haven't actually looked at Shopify. All right, let's actually take a look and see how they've done today. Shop, here we go. Oh boy, yeah, look at this. They're down 4.24%. That's never good. Yeah, they've been on a little bit of a come down. Now, and here's the thing though, when you zoom out, now they do have a support level around 173. They're probably not going to go below that, unless if they do, then oh boy, that could be bad. But I think they're going to turn around. I think this is kind of more of a rumbling. And as I said earlier, It's not even so much. It's not like, if you're a retailer who uses Shopify, you can't just pick up AI and say, oh, yeah, just make me a back end. It can make you a back end, but there's a lot more to it, especially when it comes to, credit cards, tax numbers, all kinds of stuff. There's a lot that goes in there that Shopify streamlines and makes it all very easy for you. So it's not quite as easy as you might think. So yeah, I think Shopify is going to be fine. All right, let's see here. Elisa says, just want to share this. My partner is very risk averse, and 2 years ago, he invested in a 2-year non-redeemable smart GIC minimum guaranteed return of 6%, up to 18% based on stock market performance. Oh, nice. Um, the stock market's done really well, so I'm thinking he got the higher end of that. Chris says HYMC, a mining stock, has been doing really well lately. I think all mining stocks, I think a lot, well, not all, I don't want to say all, never say all, but I think a lot of mining stocks have been doing really, really well. So HYMC, let's just take a quick gander. HYMC. So here we are, Highcroft Mining. And no, today, today they didn't do so well. They're down 7.4%. But once again, when you look at the ramp up's pretty good. And actually, if I had looked at this before it went down, I would have said that we're probably going to get a slight correction. So yeah, not too shabby. Oh, and more from Lisa. So he found out today he made the full 18% return, so 9% per year. Not too shabby. That's pretty good. I was skeptical of this investment, but it worked out well for him. Yeah. But mind you, if the market had not done well, he would have got that lower end. So what was that again? Was that 8% or 6%? So the market worked out in his favor. It could have worked in the other direction, but mind you, if the market was crappy for the last couple of years, your returns also would be lower. Well, depending on what you're doing. Rob says Asian AI guy sigh. Oh boy, not the Asian AI guy again. He said in one day that was supposed to be yesterday that the price of silver was going to be 150. Never did happen. Yeah, exactly. So, and that's the thing. If anybody says to you, like if I say, and this is like what I'll say, I think it could have a potential to get to this amount. But I will never say, in one day, it's going to be this amount. No, no, there's no guarantees. I like to use probabilities. And even, we're going back, guys, believe it or not. We're going back to Vesla. So even with this, I said, there's always that potential now that this could have broke out, because you don't stay in a channel forever. The channel just gives you your probabilities, but the reality is every time you hit that resistance on the top, it does weaken a little bit, and that's kind of the way we think of it. It's just that there's always a probability that you'll break through. So it's not so much even that it weakens. If you think about it this way, if you have a probability of 1 in 6 of rolling a 1 on a dice, every time you roll it, you still have a 1 in 6 probability, but when you sort of look at it on the long term, you are eventually going to hit that 1. It may take 1 roll. It may take 2 rolls. It may take 25 rolls if you're unlucky, but it's kind of the same way with these resistances. So this is a resistance and a support. It will break through one side or the other. It will, there has to be a breakout. I've never known anything to stay in a channel forever. It just doesn't happen. So, even though, when I was talking to Sue, she wanted to buy, and I was like, well, I wouldn't buy here because this is the most probabilistic. Based on this is the most probabilistic. Doesn't mean that it's going to be what happens, because there is still a smaller chance that it will break out through here, based on this. Now, because this is silver and it is a commodity, these odds are not as easy as you might think, because you can have geopolitical things that can affect the price of a lot of these things like silver and gold, oil. So when you're playing those, you have to keep that in mind too. But avoid the geopolitical stuff. this would be the most logical, most likely move that we would see, not, not the guaranteed move. So when you get somebody like Asian guy saying, oh, in one day, this here is going to be up here, it's like, well, no, you don't know that. You can't say that. You can't even make that claim. You can say there's a chance it could be up there, but probability wise, it's probably going to be down here. It's probably not going to be up there, but there's a chance it could be there. And I really think it's going to happen, but you can't do it. You just can't do it. You can't say it will. You can never use that language. So, and I don't know if, is he Asian AI guy? I don't know where he's based. Is he based out of the US? So, you can get in trouble if you start making some of these claims, especially if it gets to a point, I just think, I would never make a claim like that. Even if I thought this was going to break out, I would say, I think it's going to break out, but most likely it's likely going to do this. But if it does break out, this is where it's going. That's kind of the way I would approach it. All right, Noel, any gold, silver stock suggestions? VZLA. So yeah, you got things like that. Another one too that I have really been liking a lot, and I have it in here somewhere. Where is my? I hope I didn't delete it. Sometimes I have to delete it to make room for others. No, here it is. IV. So right now, IVN. This is another one that I like. So IVN is currently also running in a channel. So I've been playing it. So I made a play in here. I ended up selling, I think somewhere's in here. Actually, yeah, because I sold it here on its way up only because I was very uncertain on what was going to happen with Tuesday. So I was like, you know what? I'd rather just not hold it right now. Let's just see what happens, and I'll find a new entry point. And it actually gapped up. It did well. So actually, I should have just held it and sold it up here. So now I'm going to wait for it to come back down. When it comes back down towards the bottom of the channel, unless it breaks out, I'll get back in again. And I'll ride it back up. So and here's the thing, and that's just trading, right? If you're looking for a long-term investment, I think IVN is fantastic. They have some copper. They've got a good amount of copper, and that's going to really, really help them on the longer scales. And of course, they've also got gold. So IVN is another good one. And of course, if you just want to get a little bit of income, some half decent growth, there's a lot of great ETFs out there. Things like GLCC. You're going to get your income. You're going to get your growth. And well, here, let me show you. GLCC, here we go. So this here is the TSX ETF Investor Center. Don't ask me how I got there. All right, let's try this again. GLCC, here we go. Bang. So your Global X Gold Producer Equity Covered Call ETF, and I'll show you the last year. You can see this one here, you're getting a good amount of that upside. You're not getting all of it. If you want the straight upside, of course, you could go with a non-covered call ETF, and that will give you a lot of that upside. But here you are getting a little bit of dividends too, so 5.145%, and that's not shabby. So by going not so aggressive on the covered calls, this is a fund that is giving you a lot more of that upside. So you're getting the best of both worlds for sure. All right, Rob says, does anyone use Shopify? All I see are Amazon trucks delivering goods every day. Shopify actually has a deal with Amazon. Just they do. I don't know the full details of it, but they do work together on some areas. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the Shopify is, they're not even coordinating that. They're just coordinating the payments, right? So that's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting. Shopify, I think they're still big. They're still big. There's a lot of things that you can't get on Amazon. Believe it or not, Amazon seems to have everything, but there are things you can't get on Amazon. Lisa says gold is over 4,800 US today. Yeah, I know. It's nice. Chiad says, I use the Wealthsimple for back gold and personal as I can get physical and PSLV and buy through TD Bank and the Mint for physical bars rounds, plus trades 2 SKUs, rifles for 20 ounce. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to gold, that's another route too. Like there's nothing wrong with collecting I don't want to say collecting, but investing in physical gold. The only thing is just you want to make sure that if you are a physical investor in gold, you want to make sure that, well, you want to make sure that you're able to see things. And just give me a second here. I'm seeing something strange on the camera here. I'm hoping that I haven't dropped off here because the camera looks blurry. I'm like, what the banana bread is that? If you can still hear me though, then I'm behind the blur, but the blur doesn't seem to be moving. So what can I say? Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me or if it's just the blur. Am I blurred, but can you hear me? If so, we'll continue on until this resolves. Sound is perfect. Okay, all right. All right, well, just leave me as a blurry ball. It's like a blurry bowling ball or something. Holy banana, I don't know. All right, Chad says, just getting all my gear on. She windy and cold here today. Yes, well, here it's snowing. It's snowing a wee bit, that's for sure. Some days I feel like it would be so much simpler just holding VFV and VDY. I can understand that. Well, VFV and VDY, if you want, if you're looking for just, nice, simple, passive investing, that's the way to go. VFV is going to give you your exposure to the S&P 500. You're not looking at income. You're just looking at straight up growth. You get small dividends, not much on it. VDY, of course, that's giving you access to Canada. So yeah, it's not a bad way to go if that's what you're looking for sure. And then Chad's throwing in XEQT. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. But been buying physical gold since 22 years. Brian says there are 4 to 5 accounts that release the same video as Asian AI guy. People are saying there are a lot of valid points, but also a lot of bogus claims. Either way, the bot is making money on the IDs. Oh, I have an idea. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to remove me. Put me back. Put me back. Let me go over here for a second. All right, remove. I add to stage. Oh, now it's not even putting me on the stage. So this, guys, I think the error that we're running into, I think it's I think it might be a StreamYard error that's causing this. All right, just give me a second here. All right, guys, I'm just going to refresh StreamYard really quick here. So, everything might go dead for like, I don't know, probably about 20 seconds. But I'll see if that'll fix the camera. Give me 1 second. All right, here we go. I think it worked. I think it fixed it. Nice. All right, there we go. That fixed everything. Whew. Now, where the heck were we? That's the part I have to find out. There we are. Oh, it actually saved which comment I was on. Doorpat, Shopify are not into logistics. The host of the storefront for most of us online businesses. Yeah, exactly. Video bubble went blurred. I don't know. It wasn't I don't think it was the camera. It was StreamYard, because that's what I did. I just refreshed StreamYard and it fixed it. What happened to your cam? Your video of you is not neat. How to say it in English? I know. Blurred. Pay-per-view. There we go. GLCC versus GLCL. All right, great question, Lily. So GLCC is the regular covered call. So yeah, GLCL, that's going to throw a little bit of leverage in there. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's take a look. Like, you're going to see pretty much the same, but you are going to get a little more for your buck, for sure. GLCL. There we go. So this is their leveraged version of it, and it just means that you're going to have more volatility because it's going to move. It's going to move a little bit better. Now, this is a new one, and, it's been doing fantastic. So, yeah, I mean, in a bull market, as long as gold is performing, GLCL is not a bad option. Right now, I always go to GLCC because I've known GLCC for years. GLCL, as you guys can notice, it's new. It's brand new. They just started doing this back in April. Well, the end of April. Or was it? Yeah, April. I had to sort of think for a second. Sound is perfect. Yes, we hear you fine. Yes, I know. All right, let's get over here. Nee says, what metals are people using for jewelry nowadays? That's a great question. I will say one thing. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I have to. I refreshed it so my thing wasn't there. Guys, I am sorry. All right, give me a second. Let me bring up the screen again. There we go. All right, here we go, guys. This here, GLCC right here. This one's GLCC. So nice steep movement on it. It's actually doing quite well. So yeah, this is GLCL. GLCL. There we go. Okay. Bismarck, he said, I thought it was my vision. I didn't notice it at first, and I just happened to look at the little test thing, and I was like, whoa, that's blurry. What's going on there? Gold, silver, as always. Lisa says, my partner is so risk adverse. I was just happy to see him get a somewhat decent return on his investment. Yes. For sure. Let's see. Why is your profile picture fuzzy, Candace? Thanks for letting me share. Oh, you can share anytime you want, guys. Feel free. Like I look, somebody. I'll go back to here for a second. Somebody actually thanked me on Discord saying, you know what? Thank you for providing a space for investors to just talk. Whenever I talk to everybody else about investing, I just get, those looks type thing. So, that's what this is. This is a space. You guys can use this space for sure. And you can use the Discord. You can use the Discord. We got Facebook groups. All of the links in that are down below. All right, pay-per-view, your subscription ran out. Yep. You guys didn't hit enough likes, so it turned on the blurriness. That's actually, let's take a look and see where we're at. We were at 56 last time, so maybe we can be at, there we are. We got the 60. We're at 61, so I gotta love it. Claude, video problem. The cat didn't receive enough treats. She did something to the camera. I'm sure of it. You know what? I wouldn't put it past her. I would not put it past her. She loves her treats, like really loves treats. And yeah, she would do, if she knew how to make the camera blurry, if it would get her a treat, she would do it. No ands, ifs, or buts about it. Meow. Give Winter more treats, says Samantha. Yes. Yes, you're back. What do you feel about DFN and FFN? All right. So both of these, of course, are split cores. So these are your Class A shares. So in a bull market, split cores tend to do really, really well. So let's actually look. We'll go with DFN. We'll go with DFN. I'm going to pull DFN up here. So this here's your Dividend 15 split core Class A shares. And I'll pull up the last year. So yeah, you can see it's been doing pretty darn well. And it also has pretty big dividends here. So monthly dividends, there's the yield there, 15.54. So it does this. Now, typically they don't have to have cover calls, but you can have cover calls within a split core. But the general idea is you have two different types of, so you'll have, basically they split the stock in two. So you have a preferred shares and you've got the split core, so Class A. So the preferred shares, they're kind of guaranteed everything. Now they have a smaller yield, but everything is 100% guaranteed and everything goes to that group. Now the Class A shares gets everything left over and it tends to be a pretty high yield. So provided between both, so if you have DFN, so right here, let me show you. Let's actually split the screen. No, we're not going to split the screen. We're going to duplicate the tab. All right, and let's just go DFN here. I should be able to find their preferred share as well. So that, yeah, here's the preferred share right here. All right, so this is the preferred share. So, and it's not too exciting. For income investors, it's not exciting at all. Like, it's just, yeah, it's not exciting. But what is important about this one is that the preferred share, if you add this price, in this case here, we're sitting at $10.39, and you add it to this one, so $10.39 plus 783, that's like just over $18. That's fine, because way that these work is if that combined price ever drops below $15, and $15 is a threshold for the payment. And that's for the payment on these Class A shares. So if they drop below $15, that combined price, they'll suspend those dividends. And that's why you want to pay attention. So if you are investing in this, yeah, you can make you can get a lot of great income. You're also getting some great growth on this one right now. Fantastic, but pay attention. If those prices start coming down, well, you might want to sort of, you might want to be prepared that there could be a dividend cut. And you might think, oh, Candace, that doesn't really ever happen. Well, it does. Let me show you. Let's go into the key data, and we're going into the dividends. All right, let's go back in time. We're traveling back. Oh, here we are, right in here. Look at this. Here is some dividend cuts. So what happened in this little area in 2023? They fell below. They fell below that threshold. So that's what you want to be aware of. And if we go further back, we had also that same thing happen in 2020 around the pandemic. So they will suspend dividends in that case. Now, if you're aware of that, you're okay with that, and you realize, okay, yeah, if it does fall down, and all you have to do is really pay attention to the two of them, and that way there you have kind of an idea if that's going to happen. And, I'm the type that I have in the past, like back in the early parts of the pandemic, if you were an income investor, you were investing in split core. It was kind of one of the few ways to go. Outside of split core, you really didn't have a lot of covered call ETFs. They had one, I think BMO had one, but they weren't, the yields were really small back then. So split core were your biggest yields. Even Canoe was beating the covered call ETFs back then. So it's changed quite a bit. But now going through the pandemic and going through, watching things get suspended, like especially in 2023, people sort of started realizing, there's some danger here. It's not danger. It's just the way they're built. They're built because what happens is when they suspend things on the split core, on the Class A, when they suspend it, all they're doing is they're allowing the fund between the two of them to sort of build the NAV back up so that it can get above that threshold, and then the payments start again. So just something to keep in mind about those. Now, I think for now, they're going to be fine. I think they're going to be fine for a while. I would just sort of, personally, I would reconsider a little bit around going into the next bear market, but I don't think that's going to happen in 2026. So for now, I think they're full sailing ahead. And if you want to avoid that, if you want to avoid this phenomenon, another option if you want some split core exposure is CLSA. And where the heck are you, CLSA? No. Oh, wait a minute. CLSA. I misspelled it. There we go. So this is the Brompton Split Core Enhanced Equity Fund ETF. So this is an ETF of split cores. So if one of them suspends dividends, it's not going to really impact it that much. Now look at this. This has been just since launch. It launched, it launched back in March, and it launched right around $10, and now it's worth $14. And you are getting some half decent distribution here, 9.612%. So that's just another option as well if you want to kind of minimize that that NAV threshold issue. All right, Paul says 6 degrees here, but overnight it got to -5. Oh, I think last night it was, I don't know what it got to last night. Overnight it was probably, I don't think it was -30, but it was probably about -25, maybe -26 or something. Chad, have a gooder day. All stay warm and stay invested. Time for the snow horse. Brap. There we go. Well, enjoy your time in the snow. The other day, someone was interested in Denison Mines. Great news released today The Phoenix project has now advanced towards construction and production. Grid power is live. Nice. Let's see if we got a big, do we get a big jump in Denison today? Denesin. Let's pull it up. I misspelled it, but I still found it. There we go. DML. So on the day today, they're up 2.161%, but we look at that last year, and yeah, you can sort of see they've been moving up a little bit. We did slowly get, and I think when we were talking with the other day, I said we would probably get a small pullback. It wasn't as big as I thought, but we did get a little one there. It sort of looks like a chipped tooth now, or a chipped canine. All right. And Chad says URA holds that plus CCO and lots others, but USD. They do. Absolutely. All right. And good day, all, says Chad. Brian, I hold 2350 DF and 258 shares of DFN. Great dividends while the NAV is high enough. Stock tanks when the dividends are cut. Well, yeah. And once again, those dividends, they get cut if the combined falls below that threshold. So you want to kind of pay attention. That's the way I would look at it. Right now, like, it's not like you have to look at it every day. Right now, it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot to pull that number down. So, Michael Music Muscle Man says, I just felt like, I normally just say Michael, but I just wanted to say the whole thing for once. How would you rank gold, silver, copper, or BTC will do in 2026? All right. Gold, I think gold will be solid in 2026. I think it will continue to move up. It's not going to, I don't think it's going to do as well as it did last year, but I think it will still do pretty darn well. Impressive enough. Silver, I think silver might actually outperform gold this year. I think silver is going to have a pretty solid year. Maybe, once again, I don't know if silver will beat its performance from last year. Now, copper, I think copper will beat its performance from last year. Now, there is a possibility that we might get some buy the dip moments, like copper may retrace a little bit, at least in the early terms. And that has to do, of course, with NVIDIA's, they sort of overestimated how much copper they're going to need. So there's a possibility we could see a bit of a retracement. And I kind of hope we get it, because I will certainly DCA in and buy some dips, all of that for sure. Marina says, I didn't have a good run with my US ETF, so YMAX, oh boy. NVDY and TSLY, I tried several over the course of the year, but none worked out. I've made a resolution to stay on the Canadian side in 2026. All right, that's, considering the year we had in 2025, that's not a bad resolution. I have a feeling that we will still outperform the US market this year. And so far, let's take a look. So far, right now, TSX year to date is 3.26%. S&P 500 year to date, negative 0.04%. So we are up. The 1 year, so going from this time last year to now on the S&P 500, 14.32%. On the TSX, 30.53%. So yeah, right now, Canada is ruling. Canada is ruling for sure. And Brian says, I'm still on the fence with YMAX. I was going to sell it, but might have changed my mind. 89 to 120 a month in dividends is hard to pass up. Yeah, I mean, they are great dividends, but keep in mind, don't just look at the dividends. Look at your total return. If you're losing NAV to get those numbers, then you want to adjust it down, because, you have to take that into consideration for sure. Marina says, I'm on the house money with all of them, but I don't like the NAV erosion and volatility. Yeah, and that's kind of what I was talking about. There's always a point with covered calls where you take that yield high enough, and you do start kind of creating almost a fake yield. Like if you're paying so much out that your NAV is actually falling, then, I don't like the word NAV erosion, but in that situation, it's just simple. It's just the math of the thing. You want to try to hit a sweet spot. And for me, I think be very leery. If you've got a yield that goes over 15%, that's where you want to be leery. You want to pay attention to what's going on and make sure that math is working out, because I think once you get over 15%, that's where you start running into some interesting things, for sure. All right. Brian says, yes, I have the other two as well. I am down in NVDY overall, including dividends. Yeah, there we go. Claude says, Bitcoin doesn't seem to know where to go these days. Playing ping pong. Bitcoin is always that interesting thing. I mean, I still like Bitcoin. I'm still bullish on Bitcoin in 2026. I do think that we have the potential, and I'm using the word potential, so it's not guaranteed, but I think there is the potential to have another big pump to the top before this year is done. Where do I think we could go as high as well, I think we'll definitely have a new all-time high. Maybe we might be able to wick up as high as 150, but I don't think we're going to break above 150. And I hope I'm wrong, because that would be kind of neat, but I think 150 is roughly where we could be looking at. All right. Isaiah says, I have more dividends rolling in tomorrow just in time to buy at the top of the V recovery. Isn't that the way? There's nothing wrong with, there's always going to be something that's down. Maybe if silver's down tomorrow, I don't know. There's usually always something. But yeah, it's one of those things. Like, that's one of the reasons that I do like cash ETFs, because sometimes it's just nice to have some cash sitting there that you can deploy when things like yesterday happened, for sure. All right, guys, we're getting there. We're getting towards the end. We're not there yet, but we normally go about an hour and a half. So we got about 20 minutes. But nonetheless, guys, if you got your last minute questions, get them on in. Just get your questions in general. I'll keep going as long as there's questions. That's the way I roll. Brian says, just check in with the Asian AI guy to help you with your predictions. Oh, no. No. I like to base my predictions on this thing called science, probability, all of that. I don't like to sort of go, oh, I feel like it should be higher. So yeah, no, I won't make predictions that way. Because that way here's the thing. If you use real probability, real use evidence, then and when you're wrong, you can still defend your position. If you come out and you do things like Asian AI guy and just say, yeah, silver will be 150 tomorrow. Well, when you're wrong, how are you going to defend that? You can't. Bismarck, he says, Biggie should be paying out distributions tomorrow. Nice. Now, the next video, so tomorrow I'll be filming it for Friday. And Biggie might actually be in that video. So I initially, guys, and I think I told you guys about it, I was looking at basically a checkup, an ETF checkup. We had a whole bunch of new ETFs this year. So initially I wanted to do three. I wanted to do three ETFs that cover the Canadian market, three that cover the US market, and three that cover technology. But as I was doing it, by the time I got through the first two, I realized that if I did technology, if I continued with technology, it would have been a 25-minute video. So I've cut technology. So we're just doing Canada and the US for Friday's video. Well, tomorrow, if you're a channel member, you'll be able to watch it tomorrow afternoon. But that means I'll probably be able, if you guys like this one, so if you guys like this video, it gets some good traction, I'll come back and I'll start doing some of the other sectors, because there's easily at least two more sectors. I think that there's been a half decent amount of videos or ETFs that have dropped. So I'm thinking financial sector. I don't know about energy, but financial and tech, I could definitely do those. So that might be a second video. So we'll go, we'll take it along. Michael says, you had a good day since an insider bought 30 different times with last buy of 640. That was low PE of 950. You. I remember we were looking at that. Was that yesterday? And Kelly says, will the HHIS price ever come back? I'm thinking of dumping it after this round of distributions. Okay, fair enough. I still like HHIS, but Harvest, there's been a lot of the high income shares, like the single stock ones, that have certainly been struggling. I think what Harvest needs to do is I think they need to rebalance this a little bit. I would certainly look at cutting some positions and some of the some of the ones in there. And I would also look at maybe adding some high income shares in some companies outside of tech. Get a bit more diversification. So will HHIS ever come back? Yes. Will it come back quickly? That's really hard to say. But if we get a big movement in tech, that would be really good for HHIS. But at the moment, yeah, I can understand being in that position for sure. And there are other tech options as well. HHIS, yeah, they do pay a fair amount. I'm okay with them right now. Like I got in at a low price, so I guess I haven't been super concerned about it myself. And even yesterday, I did buy some more because, yeah, a chance to actually buying it yesterday actually averaged me up a tiny bit. So that's how good of a starting position I got in on HHIS. Mark says I'm sitting on a ton of cash. So PSA, one of the cash ETFs, but didn't buy today. I didn't have PTSD, post-traumatic stress, post-traumatic stress syndrome. There we go. Nice one. I like that one. I actually haven't heard that one. I think I might have, but it's good. It's a good one. It's a good one, Mark. Yeah, and that was the thing. Yesterday I kind of felt like we might get a little bit of red this morning, but then I thought we were going to get some recovery. So I deployed yesterday. I deployed, a lot of buying yesterday. Let's see. Rob says the Asian AI guy needs to do his homework again. His prediction gone wrong means he's failed his final exam. Maybe. Bismarcky, as long as HHIS keeps paying the same distributions, then I'm okay with the price. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if they start cutting their distribution, that's when people start to get a little bit worried. Michael says, what is HHIS that I can't never pull nothing up on a chart? HHIS, we'll just pull, actually here I got two windows open. Let's collapse back to one. So HHIS right here, it's the Harvest Diversified High Income ETF. Today it was actually up by the end of the day. It was up by 0.707. So it actually did go up a little bit. Anyway, so it went up a little bit. But here's the thing. Actually, looking at the 1 year, it's actually not that bad. It's not that bad. But all right, we'll go to the 3 year. So yeah, looking at it. So this here is designed. So HHIS, it's not designed. It's really not designed as a growth income ETF. So when I talk growth income, I'm talking that hybrid strategy. So where you're getting some growth and you're also getting some dividends. That's not what it's designed. It is designed as an income ETF. And when you look at it from that perspective, yeah, you don't have a lot of growth. Like it launched and it's slightly below where it launched because it did launch here. Let's see here. It opened at 1235. So it is a little bit below. And then of course it launched and it went straight into Trump's little vacation here, his little Liberation Day. And then it made its way back up. And yeah, and there's been a little bit. So it's been doing kind of what tech has been doing. So for that reason, like I said, I'm not concerned. Will it be back up? Well, will it get back up to $14? Yeah, I think it'll get there eventually once we get a bit of a movement. But keep in mind, you're not going to get a lot of growth on this one. This one is designed for tech, and that's kind of, if it's doing that, then you can't complain too much. But I would, like I said, I would like to see it up around, for me, I'd like to see it at least up around 1270 to 13. I think that would be a nice, healthy spot for it. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right. Cebu says, appreciate your thoughts with RSETF Real Estate Split Corp. Been holding it for a year for the dividends and also for lower FVD rates for retirement. Are there any better ETFs since the price is flat? All right, so let's pull up RS. I actually was looking at RS. I think it was last week. I was looking at it. So, and I'm going to pull up. Let's pull up the 3 year. Let's pull up the 3 year. And this is what this is one of the things that has me concerned. So real estate has had a rough ride of it. It's had a rough ride of it for sure. So in this case here, we can see the real estate has been on a downward trend for a while. Now this here is a split course. So RS will also have preferred shares, and that'll be, and actually, you know what? Let's pull up the preferred shares as well. Let's do that. Duplicate tabs, and let's go here. RS. Whoops. RS. I want the preferred shares. Here we are. All right. So here's the good news. Add these together. You got 10 and you got 10. So it's more than $20. So there's no danger with this of a dividend cut, which is fantastic because it does have a pretty good dividend right now, 15.369%. So the dividend is safe. This has been a sector that has absolutely struggled, and you can see on the 3-year, it has, we had a lot of things. We had a bear market, then we had aggressive rate hikes. Aggressive rate hiking, not great for real estate. And then, of course, we kind of got a little bit of recovery towards the end here. But to be honest, the only thing that was good is here, this little area in here. You see this little spike? That's when the rate cuts began. So initially, real estate was responding well to the rate cuts, and so was this one. But real estate has kind of fallen. Now, let me show you something else. We'll get out of here. I'm going to pull up RMAX. All right, so this here is the Hamilton REITs Yield Maximizer. This is kind of where I'm at because I use this one. This one is mostly income, but I'm going to pull up 1 year. All right, we'll pull up the 3 years. So this is kind of the same thing as the other one. And you'll see that is that, when the rates began, that's right there. And then you can see at that point it fell because a lot of things changed, especially in Canada on the Canadian side. Even though rate cuts were still happening, we had some of the immigration changes back with Trudeau. That certainly didn't help. And, and we also got into a situation too with we got an oversaturation of condos in some of our big cities. So Toronto, Vancouver, that are, there's a lot of problems. But, this here is starting to settle into a straight income fund. And this one here, and it's not even as high. It's only a 10.278%. So I do think real estate is going to do a little bit better over the next couple of years. With that being said, I don't think it's going to be a banner year. I don't think we're going to see anything impressive, but I think we'll see a movement to the upside nonetheless. Great. But this one here, like I said, it's fine. Like I think this one is still fine, provided you're okay. Now, here's the thing. I like I said, real estate kind of did the same thing. If real estate was not going down like this, and then you had a fund like this that was, then I would be really worried. I would be like, I'm getting out of it, to be honest. I would be really concerned. But this here is doing what the market's doing. This is following real estate. This is kind of what we're seeing in real estate. So this should now peter off. And you'll notice how it has been flat now pretty much since this year. So if you look at it from the 1 year perspective, it's been mostly flat when you look at this main support level. Yeah, there's been Liberation Day, and then there's other crap that Trump, some of the market that we had towards the end of the year. But now it's back up, and it's recovered quickly from it, and it's recovered from this as well. And I think it's going to be fine. I think it will be fine. I think it will move forward. I wouldn't expect a lot of growth, but you will get some. You will get some for sure. So if you're looking now, and your question is, are there better ETFs for retirement? Well, if you're looking for real estate, this is a good one. I like RMAX as well. I think they're both fantastic for the sector and doing what that sector is doing. But are there other better ETFs out there? Of course there are. Things like HDIV. HDIV is doing fantastic. There's also we talked about GLCC. If you're into gold doing fantastic, or GLCL. So there's a lot out there, and obviously, if you look around on the channel, you'll find I break down a lot of them on the channel as well. So definitely a lot there. All right, Michael says UUU was up 0.78 and up in the after hours over $5. That last buy from insiders was $6.40 and maybe can keep climbing. Nice. And you know, I'm a fan, Michael. I'm a fan of the special dividends for sure. All right, Mark says, I'm down only 2K capital on my HHIS, but 11K in dividends past year gave me an IRR of 17%. Gonna continue to hold for now. Yeah, I still think HHIS is fine. I'm not worried. Like I said, I did add. I added to it yesterday for the challenge. So let's see. I see a 13G filing after the close is why shares of UUU going up in after hours over 5. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Scott, do you notice the error in the income stocks video? You had 0.0. Oh, okay. Yeah. An extra zero by mistake. Oh, that happens. I might need to. Yeah, there's actually two errors. There was that one, and when I was talking about Canoe, I said, if you invested 1,000, I meant 10,000. So yeah, two little errors. Oh, I hate it when little errors sneak through. They don't happen often, but they do. And the problem with YouTube is that once everybody's watched it, if somebody discovers a tiny error, the only option I have is if I want to correct it, is I'd have to actually pull the whole video down. And then it just, there's no point in even putting it back up because everybody's already watched it. So, I'll have to do a note on that one. Oh boy, yeah, an extra little zero. I hate it when I make a mistake, but I'm human. It happens. Rob says, Candace, are Canadian banks consistent in their ROI for the last 5 years? No, not really. Here, I'll just pick any let's grab TD Bank. We'll grab TD Bank. And let's grab you the 5 years. So are they consistent? No. If they were consistent, you would have more of a gentle slope. So you can sort of see, in here we had a big movement, and then, then we went into the bear market and rate cuts, all of that in there. Now they're once again on a huge. So are they consistent? I would say no. But at the same time, here's where the yes comes in. When you look at a lot of the stuff that was going on during this between here and here, they showed a lot of resilience. Like, they're resilient. They're very resilient. Are they consistent? I would say not as consistent as, depending on how you mean consistent, I would say probably not, but very resilient. I love the Canadian banks. I think you're going to be good. I think you're going to love it. I think you'll love the Canadian banking system. It's very, very, very good. Scott, well, I will say this. Can you consistently expect earnings with the Canadian banking system? Can you consistently expect dividends? Absolutely. There's just no guarantee. Like, sometimes you will have moments like you can see here. These were lower lows, and then, then recovery. So, depending on how you mean consistent, it sort of changes the way I answer it. You can add a pinned comment at the video with the corrections. Yeah, absolutely. And I've done that before. I'll do it again. All right, guys, we're pretty much at the end. But before we even look at going, I'm gonna refresh and see where we're at likewise. Let's see here. There we go, 69. Oh boy. I would have rather had 67 than, 67, because that would be funny. But anyway, 69 likes. Another fantastic show. You guys have been awesome. So we are back tomorrow, by the way. Yesterday, you guys earned a show for tomorrow. And tomorrow, we'll offer you up the chance, if you want to keep the Financial Express going, we'll offer the chance to go to Friday. And that'll be fun. Yeah, and also keep in mind, if you're a channel member, tomorrow you will get to see the new video. I'm excited about this one. Everybody else will see it on Friday. So until next time, guys, I always have one last thing to say, of course. Oh, and I got to be big screen. I can't say it. I can't do it if I'm not big screen. There we are, 70. Nice. See, and there's 71 in the room. 73 with 71 people in the room. We just broke the laws of physics. I love it. All right, very quickly, Heather, you jump in just as I'm leaving. It's like, let me throw a bone at Candace that she can't not pick up. All right, hi Candace and crew. Did you already talk about the new Harvest HPYP and HPYE? I just got the memo about them today. Yeah, we've talked about them a few times. So one of them, of course, HPYB, that is kind of like their answer to 6C. So you're looking at the financials in there, and it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see these in. I don't know. Did the memo today actually give us a release date? I haven't seen a release date yet. Now I got the memo too, so give me a second. Let me see if I've got a release date on these. Boop, ba-doop, boop, boo. All right, I got to pull this over here. Where is my memo? Where is my memo? Oh gosh. All right, let's try this again. Oh, it was in my other. It was in my other, I think. Oh, I don't even. All right, did I delete it? I couldn't have deleted it. Oh no, I had a memo, guys. I swear I had a memo. Unless it got sent to my other email. But let me just double check here. Let's see. Yeah, I don't seem to have it anymore. I know I've seen it though. I know it anyway. All right, what can I say? Yeah, we'll talk. You know what? Heather, bring it up tomorrow. We'll actually go digging. We'll go digging tomorrow in the market close. Did we get a super for the new goat? Not yet. Not yet. So, I said I would give a hint today. I said I would give a hint today. Oh boy. All right. So your second hint, I said it would take a super effort. So obviously it has something to do with a super. I will tell you this right now. It's not tied to the money amount of the super. So there needs to be a super, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be like a $20 super or a $100 super or $1 million. I don't even know if you could do $1 million. Or you can unlock it with any, even a $1 super can unlock it. But yep, that's your clue. That is your clue. Let's see. Defy like physics and get a new goat. No, the last one was a like one. This one's not a like one. No, it didn't. It did not come out. Oh, you mean, wait a minute. Do you mean those ETFs? Did they come out? Really? Let me just take a gander. Let's go with hype. Let's just do that one first. Or actually, we'll do the bank one. HPYB. Did they actually? Oh, they did? Oh, they did? Look, it's here, guys. It has released. All right. The Harvest Premium Yield Canadian Bank ETF. There's that hype thing I talk about. So yeah, interesting. We'll have to see how this goes. Interesting. We won't have any distribution information, but we'll go there tomorrow. We'll actually go over to the Harvest page and we'll take a look at a whole bunch of stuff on it. But yeah, we have that one, and then we have the other one here as well. So the it's actually, I think it's HYPE. Whoa, Chair Tai Chi plan. Oh, I don't even have it up, guys, because I was on the way out. All right, let's get rid of that. I don't know what that is. So here's that first one. Oh no, that's not it at all. Oh, right here. Here it is. Harvest Premium Canadian Yield Canadian Bank ETF. We're right there. This is that hype. I remember I mentioned, this is the one I was talking about. Oh gosh, you guys couldn't see me do that. Well, what can I say? But yeah, this is that hype I was talking about. Now the other one, I think it's HYPE, because you look at it and you want to say hype. Or wait a minute, no, HPYE. Yeah, there we go. So the other one is the Harvest Premium Yield Enhanced ETF, and same idea, although look at that. You can barely, I can't tell if it's still up at there or not, but yeah, it's around 1185. Oh, so it's down about, no, that's where it opened, closed 1198. Okay, so it did close up here. Interesting. So yeah, what can we say? Still not a lot of information. We don't even have any descriptions, but we will head over there tomorrow. We'll look at both of these because I definitely want to take a deeper dive into them. Lisa says, speaking of banks, should I remind my partner about how I suggest he invest in Royal Bank 2 years ago when he bought that market-tied GIC, or let him have his glory? let him have his glory until it gets too much. If his head starts to swell a bit with the glory, then you throw that at him. So save it. Time it. Use it as a timed, as a timed thing. Oh gosh, I am sounding evil now. Oh boy. All right, guys. All right. Well, anyway, guys, it has been a fantastic show. We will be back here again tomorrow. We're going to do this all over again. And before I go, I have one last thing I want to say. And well, guys, that is